What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be breaking down a potential free agent target for the Mets this winter in the outfield that very well could be a replacement of someone like Michael Conforto. And this comes from a report yesterday at the time of recording this from Michael Mayer, who covers the Mets through Mesmerize, came out with the following, saying that yes, the Mets have been scouting superstar Japanese outfielder and Seiya Suzuki. So that's what I'll be breaking down in today's video. Everything there is to know about Suzuki and his game, the potential he would bring the Mets, what is the realism between him even landing with the Mets, and so much more. So as always, guys, make sure you stay all the way till the end of the video for all the details and all my thoughts on Suzuki and his current connection with the New York Mets. And again, guys, if you ended up enjoying this kind of Mets content and you want to see more great Mets content like this, don't hesitate from smashing that like and subscribe on, sharing this video with your friends while on the notification bell. All those great things. Thank you all so much for the continued support, folks. Now let's jump right into today's video. Having spent his career in the Nippon Pro Baseball League with the Hiroshima Carp, Suzuki is now set to hit the MLB level as one of the biggest power bats that we've seen from the NPB in quite some time. And if you're wondering just how good this guy is, he's coming off of his 6th straight season with 25 or more home runs, 75 or more RBIs, and an OPS of at least 930 or higher. He's a 5-time All-Star. He led the Central League and WRC Plus in 4 of the last 5 seasons, a 3-time Gold Glove winner for the NPB in the right field position, and has played in center, left, shortstop, third base, and first base, but definitely his strongest position at this point in his career is right field. And he has had the same number of walks as he has had strikeouts in each of the last 2 seasons, showing a plate discipline that's awfully impressive for someone that is known as a power hitter, a slugger, if you will, and has also led the league in 2021 out of all players with a WAR of wins above replacement at 8.4. So now we have Suzuki coming to the MLB, and all indications that he will be posted to become a free agent, but there is still some limbo right now, knowing the CBA expiring, that there will probably be a lockout in December. So in that scenario, what would happen is if he does post, say at some point in November before we get to December, and then the lockout happens, he will then be on freeze. Because if you guys aren't aware also, he only has 30 days to negotiate with teams to sign a deal. If nothing happens after those 30 days are up, then he goes back to the NPB. So there's a very short time to land someone like him. That's the case when people are posted from the MPP usually. So now, if there is a lockout, that could benefit some other teams and try and get, an idea of how much interest they want to have in a player like him, including the Mets. But no less, you can expect him to hopefully be posted sooner rather than later, as it's been made officially unofficial, that type of thing that we've seen over the past 24 to 48 hours. And a lot of teams have already showed interest in Suzuki. It looks like probably the majority of the league is going to be in on him, because he's someone that, according to contract predictions, you're looking at maybe a 4-year, $40 million deal, maybe 5 years, $55 million, maybe less years, maybe more. But no less, you're getting someone in the prime of his career. And yes, I know that he has no experience in the MLB. That is always going to be a risk. But what you're getting as a potential upside could be one of the biggest Japanese phenoms that we will see in the league for quite a while. Not a Shohei Ohtani level, obviously, because Ohtani is in a class of his own as both a dominant hitter and pitcher, but someone that can come in and hopefully get you 25 plus home runs a season for the next, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years even, and then some, depending on if he's in right field. Maybe he's a DH. And the Mets, knowing that they have shown interest here, what really could be an X factor in all this is their new GM in Billy Epler. Because prior to Billy Epler being hired, when you think about the Mets and you think about Japanese players, people that have been posted from the MPB or other leagues, usually the Mets aren't that in on them. They normally don't do well, at least in years past during the Wilpons era. So there's never been a strong connection for a while now, and actually landing a star like this from Japan to actually come to Queens. But Billy Epler, who has a great background in scouting, it's what he's known for, it's how he worked himself up as an executive in baseball, was able to land Shohei Ohtani, and the belief is that his scouting background was a huge helping say in landing Ohtani to the Angels. So if he can do something like that he's done working with international players, hopefully he can do the same with the Mets. So keep an eye on that as well. But one more thing that you have to keep into consideration for landing a guy like him is his contract is a little different. You have to give up a percentage fee to Carp, which is the team that he's coming from in the MPB, and it varies on the contract. So it would be, say, a 20% fee that you have to give to the Carp for the first $25 million on his contract. Then it would be a 17% on the next $25 million, and then right around 15% for any more money after. So what came from MLBTradeRumors.com, I will have a link in the description down below, on their hypotheticals that if he signs a $55 million deal, you have to give up just over a $10 million in fees. So it would really look like a $65 million deal. But no less, a guy like Suzuki that could come in, potentially be a Michael Conforto replacement in the scenario he walks, will definitely be cheaper than someone like Michael Conforto. And he very well could be an X factor for a Mets team next season that definitely needs help in the outfield, needs help pitching. They need help everywhere. But if you can land someone like Suzuki, this could be the changing of the tide with landing not just international players, but potentially getting someone that could be one of the biggest bargains looking back in this year's free agency. So Mets fans, let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about Seiya Suzuki potentially coming to the New York Mets? Do you think it's a strong fit, an unlikely fit? Where do you think he'll land overall in free agency? And as always, folks, if you ended up enjoying this kind of Mets content and you want to see more great content like this, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe on, sharing this video with your friends, on the notification bell. Always great things. Thank you all so much for the continued support, folks. I'm out of here. Let's go Mets, baby.